So we've got our block out. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to start refining these. So we've got the basic, we've got our proportions, all our proportions match and everything, more or less with the original one. So now we want to start working on the details a bit more. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go to block out here in our scene collection and just say duplicate collection. And we're going to call this one, let's call it model or character. And then you just disable the block out and then also click this button to disable it in the render. Otherwise, you're going to get an unpleasant surprise if you hit render. So let's work on the head first. Okay, so the head, if I tab into the head, it's a square. But we can't really work with that. We need more geometry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the subdivision surface modifier. So just over here, hit Control A. And then I'm going to go to go into the front view, press Z2. And then I'm going to select these vertices. So make sure you've got one here and you've got vertices selected. And press X, delete vertices. And now we've got a half a head that we can work with, which is fine. So I'm going to add a modifier, generate a mirror modifier, and I'm just going to enable clipping. Okay, so Z2 again to go into solid view. Now we need to create this sort of more sharp feature on the side. So with face select these three. And press I for inset. And okay, let's go out first and add another subdivision surface modifier. So let's go for 2 levels. And then you'll see we wanted to, at the moment it looks a bit strange. So just right click and say shade auto smooth. Now we can see what it will look like. And then let me just show you another trick. If you go up here to the shading, at the moment it's on studio, but we can use a thing called matcap, which is quite nice, and it'll give you different shaders that you can have a look at and see your geometry. And this is a metallic one, but I think this one's a bit too harsh, but I like this one here, so you can use that one, whichever one you like, but I like this one. So let's tab back into the edit mode, and then let's add another inset. So the more insets we add, the sharper the geometry is going to be. And let's maybe just going to press 2. And then if you press 2 and Alt, you can select this loop. So I'm just going to maybe scale this one up a bit so that they even. See what that looks like. Okay, that's looking cool. And then I'm going to go 3 here. Select these, maybe grow it. And grow it again and go S, X, 0 to flatten it out. So yeah, I think this is fine. Now we've got this nice feature on the side of the head here. And then later on we're going to put the ears on. Okay, so let's work on the face next. So let's work on the face. So tab into edit mode and select these guys here up to down there, and then press Shift D to duplicate the geometry, right click, and then P, separate by selection. And then now just press the slash key, and I just want to bring this vertex in. So go to 1 and then just sort of bring it in nicely so it creates this nice line like this. Okay, so press numpad again. So don't worry about all of these overlapping geometry. We can actually just go G, Y, bring it forward slightly. There's actually going to be a hole there, so that's fine. Don't worry about that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work on the eyes. So I need to apply the mirror here and also the subdivision. because I want more geometry for the eye. So I'm going to go to 1, tap into edit mode, and then remember we had that if you go to preferences, loop tools, make sure you've got loop tools installed, because that's where we're going to use it now. So just go in your vertex select mode, select maybe this vertex here, press plus, press it again. So we're just going to do one eye, we're going to copy it over. So until you have something that looks like this, and then you right click, go to loop tools and say circle, and that creates this nice circle for you. And now we can just create an inset, and then go to 3, press E just to create that nice tight loop there. Press E again, and now press Y0 to make it straight like this. And then let's press E again, and then I again, and then I once more to create a loop, and then E, just a small extrusion, and then E again, and then E once more, and then I, and then E come out this way, and then just E again. So now we've got the whole eye here. And then control, we can actually just have one level, so control 1, and that should be fine. So this is our eye now. So now all we need to do is we press 1, so now all we need to do is we press 1, and let me just slash this to solo it. Tab to go into edit mode, Z2 for transparency, and then we just delete everything on this side. X, delete vertices, and then now we add another mirror modifier, and we just enable clipping, and I think we need to put this on top, and then yes, everything should be fine. Z2, and then slash again to come out of edit mode, and now our face is basically done. One more touch that we can do, we can add another modifier, we can add a solidify modifier, and what that's going to do, it's going to give us some thickness. So I'm just going to slash into solo mode so you can see. So this is with the solidify modifier. If you want to turn off a modifier, you just click this button here, then you can see. If you click this button here, it's when you're in edit mode, it's turned off. This is actually quite a handy button to use. And then now we've got the solidify modifier here, and then if we play with the thickness, we can make it more thicker. And then the offset is basically what direction is it going? Is it going to the inside, or is it, if you press 0, it sort of splits the difference, or if you press 1, it goes outside? So I just want it to be quite small, and then maybe have it go to the inside. So just 0.1, and then maybe just like press Control A again, so the scale, because this also has an influence on the scale. And then this one, we can put this one above the subdivision, and then maybe if it's above the subdivision, we can maybe, okay, let's leave it like that. Okay, that's fine. This is our helmet done now, our face done. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, I'm just going to go in here now, tab into our original head here, and I'm going to select this one, this one, this one. And if you press Control and you select it, it's going to choose the shortest distance. So with these selected, press Control up to there. And then now I want to split this away from the geometry. So I'm just going to press P, and it's going to split the selection. And then now I'm just going to go into the head again and just remove this geometry that we've got here on the face. So I'm just going to slash into edit mode, or slash here, and then just delete actually delete all of this. We don't need any of this anymore. So delete the faces. And then now we're left with this. So now maybe just going to bring the head forward a bit, or the face, GZ, because it's intersecting there. Okay, so that's fine. And then on these ones, all I'm going to do here now is I'm maybe going to tab, press 2, Alt select this loop, I'm going to press 1, and then just press G, just move it back a bit so we've got a bit of that nice open space. And then what we can do here is we can just add another solidify modifier. So go up here, add modify, generate, solidify. And let's see, maybe if we go thickness of 0.2 for this one and bring it above the subdivision. And maybe this one we can, I just want to play around a bit with offsets. Okay, leave it -1 and then maybe just 0.2, and then we can just select this one, shift select this one, copy selected modifiers, solidify, and it brings the solidify over to this one as well. Okay, and now we've got the basic head. The only thing, let me just tab into the edit mode here. I'm actually going to delete this face here as well, or maybe not delete it. Let's just play around with it so we can so it's not so, because at the moment it's intersecting. So I'm just going to, if you press double G, it slides on the edge, and that's quite a nice. So I'm pressing double G, and then I'm going to press double G here as well, and then maybe press 2 here and press double G, and we can have something like this. I think this is fine. Actually, we can, yes, this is fine. Let's leave it like this. And that's basically our head. Now we just need to put another head inside of here, because this is hollow now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this one, Shift S2 to put the cursor to selected, and I'm just going to put a sphere in here. For this, a sphere would be perfectly fine. I'm just going to press S, go to 1, G, Z. We're not really going to see that. It's just going to be the inside of the head, and then right select shade auto smooth, and this is basically our head done. So let's just add the ears. Okay, I'm just increasing the subdivision level on the main face here. So all you do here now is just tab into edit mode, select this vertex, Shift S, 2, cursor to selected there, Shift A, add a cylinder and make it 16, and press 1, press R, Y, 90 to scale it on the Y axis, and then just scale it all the way down, something to that size. And then now we just add Control 2, add a subdivision surface, and it looks very ugly, but no worries, we're going to fix it now. So press 1 and then tab, and then Z2 to go into X-ray view. And I'm going to show you another cool trick. Press Control R, so you have a loop cut there, and with the loop cut selected, press Control B, and now it bevels it, and it adds edge loops to the edges here, which is pretty cool. And now if I press Z2 for solid view, everything's looking much nicer again. Except here, if I go to 3 here now, I need another loop here. So just I for inset, so we can get another loop here. And then now I'm just going to press Control plus to grow the selection. And I'm going to press S for scale, so I can just scale this so I can get this sort of cone shape. And then maybe slash into, and then I press 3 again here, and then plus, and then scale it up this way. Go to press 1 for front view, and then Z2 to see X-ray view. I just want to make this a bit smaller. We can actually do it like this. Select everything, S, X, and then Z2. And let's see what we've got here. I think this should be a bit bigger. So I'm just going to select this, plus it, and plus it again. And just S, scale it. And that should be fine. And then shade auto smooth. And then now we just need to copy this over. So with that one selected, Control C, copy selected, modifier mirror. And now we've got the ear on the other side. I think this one should be a bit bigger. So I'm just going to press S again and just increase it. Okay, I think this is fine. Now we press I again. And now we press I once more, but just a small loop there, and then E. I'm sure you're starting to get the idea here. And then E again, and then I, and then E again to the outside, and then E again. And let's maybe bring this with scale, let's bring it in. So we create this sort of roundness here. And then just I again to, and then we don't need to put anything here because it's a flat surface. This massive n-gon's not going to bother us. And there we've got the ear as well. Maybe you can just scale down the whole ear a bit so we can still see some of that feature there as well. And that's basically the head done. Let's move on to the neck. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the neck. The neck's going to be very easy. So we're just going to, I just want to go here to the side view and extend it. So S, Y, I just want to extend it in a bit. So it goes there into the head. And then I'm just going to solo it. And then Control A, apply scale. And then Control 2 for subdivision. And it looks very ugly, but that's fine. We're fixing it now. Tab, and then we're just going to do the same trick again. Control R, Control B, bevel it so it's nice there, and then we just add these edge loops here. Control I to inset, and then at the top as well, Control I. Okay, so now I basically want to make these ridges. So what I'm going to do is I'm to an edge select mode, I'm going to press Control R, and then before you click it, just scroll your mouse wheel and then you get more. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe I have 6, and then just click. And if you have to click it twice, because if you click it once, you can still move it, and then if you click it, then it's confirmed and it's there. So now let's select. Go to 3 for face select, alt select this loop, holding shift, alt select this loop, and holding shift, alt select this loop. And now press alt E and say extrude along normal. So now this is going to extrude along the normals, the faces here, and basically go out that direction. So do that, just a small extrusion, and then Control Alt extrude along normals, do it again, but a larger one. And then we end up with something like this. We can make it a bit smoother. We can just do the same trick here. Control R, and then again Control B. So now we're just tidying up the geometry. Control R, Control B. So there's a lot of repetition in this, guys, but that's how you learn. Control B, Control R, Control B, Control R, Control B, Control R, Control B, and let's bring everything back, and I think that's fine. I think our neck is done. I think the neck is, for me, the neck is a bit too forward. I'm just going to rotate it slightly. So it should just lean forward very slightly, ever so slightly. Like it's, you can see here the rotation's 1. Let's make it 1. Okay, so that is basically our neck done. So now we're getting somewhere. The next thing we're going to work on is, I think let's work on the whole torso.